After exploring the rock carvings at Goa, which belonged to the New Stone Age, it's time for us to move ahead and see what happened after that. Stone Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age signify the stages in the evolution of mankind. Needless to mention the innovations that came along. Pretty much certain stages of history of any region in the world has to fall under these stages. While it may not be practically wise to go back to an absolute beginning of things, we can nevertheless pick up a point that is reasonably documented. It is believed that people from the Harappan civilization migrated to Goa before they moved on to Lothal, which is a region in Gujarat, after their civilization submerged underwater during the 1700 BC. During the Iron Age, Goa was ruled by three subsequent kingdoms named the Mauryan Empire, the Satavahana Empire, and the Bhoja Empire. It is interesting to note that these are feudal landowners of one dynasty. What I mean by that is Bhojas happen to be the feudal landowners of Satavahana dynasty, who happen to be the feudal owners of lands issued by the Mauryans. Basically, it all begins with the Mauryan Empire. The Mauryan Empire was the first pan-India empire. It covered most of the Indian region and was founded around the 321 BCE. The ancient recorded history of Goa that can be traced back as far as it is possible to do so clearly begins from the time of the Mauryan Empire in India. The Western Maurya Kingdom comprised the regions of South Gujarat, coastal Maharashtra, Goa, and approximately half of the North Kannada district. After the Mauryan Empire has passed its prime in the 2nd century BC, its governor in Aparanta made himself independent. A descendant of the imperial Mauryas, he founded a dynasty that ruled over the west coast for nearly 4 centuries from its capital city, Sopara. This dynasty was known as the Konkan Mauryas. Goa was called the Sunaparant by the Mauryas. Chandragupta Maurya incorporated the west coast of India in his province of the Aparanta, and the impact of the language Magadhan Prakrit, the official language of the Mauryan Empire, on the local dialects resulted in the formation of early Konkani, which is observed to date. Goa's known history stretches back to the 3rd century BC, when it formed part of the Mauryan Empire ruled by the Buddhist emperor, the great Ashoka of the Magadha. Buddhist monks laid the foundation of Buddhism in Goa. Between the 2nd century and the 6th century, Goa was ruled by the Chutus of Karwar. The masterfully sculpted Ashoka pillar towards the tower of Municipal Garden in Panjim, Goa, is to be seen even today. These are one of the last remaining relics of the Mauryan Empire. Then came in the Satavahana dynasty, who began as the feudal owners of the land of the Mauryan Empire, but were declared independence as the Mauryan Empire declined over time. The Satavahanas had established maritime power, their contacts with the Roman Empire from the coastal trade from Sindh to Saurashtra, where Greek and Roman ships would halt during voyages. With the fall of the Satavahanas, the lucrative seaborne trade declined as well. Many Greek converts to Buddhism settled in Goa during this period. Buddha statues in Greek styles have been found in Goa. It can be seen that they ruled a very small part of Goa. Then came the Bhojas. First existing as the feudal landowners of the Mauryan Empire and later as an independent empire, the Bhojas ruled Goa for more than 500 years, annexing the entirety of Goa. The earliest known records of the Bhoja Empire from Goa dates to the 4th century AD. It was found in the town of Shiroda in Goa. The Bhojas belonged to the clan of Yadavas, who may have migrated to Goa via Dwaraka after the Mahabharata war. 2 Bhoja copperplate grants dating back to the 3rd century BC were unearthed from the Bandora village. These were written by the king Prithvi Mallavarman. Ancient Chandrapur, modern-day Chandor, was the capital city of the Bhoja Empire. The Bhojas ruled Goa, Belgaum, North Kannada. The earliest reference to Bhojas is found in rock edicts of Ashoka as well as Bhavishya Purana. After the Bhojas comes the medieval period, when we would be talking about the dynasties that ruled over Goa. Thank you so much. My name is Casey and you are watching History Undone.